Thank you, President. My question is to the Corrections Minister. The government's new bail laws have led to the entirely predictable outcome of having our jails overflowing with prisoners on remand awaiting trial. It has also led to an increase in remand prisoners missing their court hearings. The overcrowded cells at the Magistrates' Court are forcing corrections staff to prioritise who they transport in from police stations and remand centres from around the state. Non-priority prisoners are having their cases adjourned and end up spending longer in jail. Magistrates are increasingly frustrated with this situation, complaining that, and I quote, "people are not being taken from prison or police cells to court." I ask, what is Corrections Victoria doing to address the unacceptable situation of remand prisoners missing their court hearings because of the overcrowding of custody cells?
Minister.
Thank you, President. I thank Mr Ettershank for his question and his interest in this matter. I do know Mr Ettershank. I mean, was it Ms Copsey that asked a similar question yesterday in this chamber, in this place, and I do understand there is a large public interest in this matter. What I will say is at the outset that police cells are the responsibility of Victoria Police for providing service to people held in their custody. That's just factual. I know people may not want to accept that. From the corrections side, we are making significant investments to scale up our system. So we're doing that work to make sure we can scale up, because there is clearly a bottleneck in the system at the moment. We're confident that a lot of that will be alleviated in due course. And in the meantime, there are a number of ways that people can appear in court. Every prisoner can appear in court in person, but there's also technology via video link, which is available at many of our facilities. We've made significant investments in this space. Obviously, the pandemic, there's been a lot of benefits of the pandemic that we were able to scale up the technology in this space so that people can attend court. And I encourage the courts and Victoria Police to make use of video links to enable prisoners to attend in this format where appropriate. But those are opposite. I see a lot of interjections from that side. I know you didn't back our tough new bail laws because you want to keep those criminals on the streets, but we're not going to make apologies for taking them off our streets. Community safety is always a priority of this government. We'll continue to introduce laws that keep Victorians safe.
Mr Ettershank, supplementary question, please.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Minister. If we can move sort of beyond it's the police sort of problem. A recent inquest heard evidence that prisoners on remand are regularly shuffled across jails and police cells across Victoria, where it can be difficult to access medication, mental health support and other vital services, and there is no access to rehabilitation programs. They are typically housed in those cells for 23 hours a day. This can lead to tragic outcomes, particularly for First Nations people, who, as we know, are overrepresented in those police cells. Victorian Legal Aid Criminal Law Executive Director Kate Bundrock noted that, and I quote, clients who used to spend 2 or 3 nights on remand in a police cell commonly now spend up to 2 weeks, and in some cases even longer, while they wait their hearing. Now, more people are completing their entire sentences in prison cells. So I ask, what is Corrections Victoria doing to address the housing of prisoners on remand in police cells?
Minister.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Mr Ettershank, for a supplementary question. But similar to the substantive question, Mr Ettershank, that question really should be directed to the Police Minister in the other place. Police shells should be a temporary solution, and police are responsible and have established processes for supporting prisoners in their cells. So if there are issues with the treatment of people in those cells, that's a question really directed to the Police Minister. I'll ask for your I'll ask some direction from the President in relation to that issue.
I think, as I've said before, members have got the right to ask any minister a question. The minister has the right to say that that question should be directed to another minister if they believe it's not within their remit.